History often explains market crashes as accidents, as mistakes, as moments when fear spreads too fast. But in the year 1869, the American economy did not collapse by accident. It was pushed. Two men did not want to predict prices. They did not want to trade trends. They wanted to control the most important market in the country, gold. Gould and Jim Fisk believed that if they controlled gold, they controlled America itself. And for a few terrifying hours, they almost proved it. Before we go any further, ask yourself a few questions. How can just two men move an entire national economy? Why do markets with limited supply become extremely dangerous? What happens when politics protects financial manipulation? And why is it always ordinary people who suffer the most? By the end of this video, you will know the answers. After the American Civil War, the United States was financially exhausted. The war had been paid for with debt and paper money. That paper money was called greenbacks. Greenbacks were accepted inside the country, but outside America, they were treated with suspicion. For international trade, there was only one trusted currency: gold. Gold was required to pay import duties. Gold was required to settle foreign trade. Gold was required for large commercial payments. This created a fragile system: two currencies, two prices, one delicate balance. In New York, the amount of gold available for trading was shockingly small, only about $20 million worth. At the same time, the Treasury held nearly $100 million in gold. This meant the government controlled stability. Whenever gold prices rose too quickly, the Treasury could sell gold and calm the market. If the Treasury stayed silent, prices could spiral out of control. Gould understood this weakness better than anyone else. Gould did not believe markets were fair. He believed markets were mechanical. And in any machine, control one small part and the entire system bends. Most people in the gold market did not want gold. They needed it. Merchants needed gold to pay customs duties. Importers needed gold to settle accounts. Short sellers needed gold to close contracts. If gold disappeared from the market, they would be trapped. So gold planned something extreme: a corner. A corner means buying every available unit of an asset. When supply disappears, price becomes meaningless. The buyer decides the price. Gould partnered with Jim Fisk. Fisk was loud, reckless, and theatrical. Gould was cold, quiet, and calculating. Together, they began buying gold aggressively, but quietly. Day after day, week after week, gold prices climbed. At first, few people noticed. Then traders grew nervous. Then merchants began to panic. But there was still one force that could stop everything: the United States Treasury. If the government sold gold, the entire scheme would collapse instantly. So Gould went where markets could not protect themselves: politics. He used Abel Corbin, the brother-in-law of President Ulysses S. Grant. Through Corbin, carefully crafted messages reached the president. Do not sell gold. It will help American farmers. It will boost grain exports. It will strengthen the economy. The argument sounded patriotic. It sounded reasonable. And for weeks, the Treasury remained silent. Gold prices rose steadily: $140, $145, $150. Speculators rushed in, afraid of missing out. Merchants froze, unable to plan costs. Importers delayed shipments, waiting for clarity. The economy began to tighten. Then came September 24th, 1869, Friday. Gold opened at 140. Within hours, it surged to 160, a 14% increase in a single day. For a gold-based trading system, this was catastrophic. Brokerage houses collapsed within hours. Margin calls wiped out speculators instantly. Banks demanded emergency loans. On Wall Street, panic spread faster than information. International trade slowed to a crawl. Importers could not afford the gold needed to pay tariffs. Ships sat idle in ports. Warehouses stopped releasing goods. Farmers suffered next. Grain prices collapsed as trade froze. Wheat and corn lost nearly half their value. Farmers who had borrowed to expand production were ruined. Across the country, businesses failed. Jobs disappeared. Credit vanished. This was not volatility. It was economic strangulation. Then the truth finally reached the president. Grant realized he had been manipulated, and he acted immediately. The Treasury ordered the sale of $4 million in gold. The effect was instant. Gold collapsed from 160 to 138 in minutes. Fortunes vanished faster than they had been created. The panic reversed direction, but the damage remained. There was one final betrayal. Jay Gould had already begun selling his gold quietly before the crash. He exited slowly, carefully. Jim Fisk had not. Neither had hundreds of other investors. They were destroyed. The crash triggered a recession. Banks failed, businesses closed, public trust collapsed. Congress investigated. The public demanded justice, but no one went to prison. Gould walked away rich. Black Friday 1869 exposed a terrifying truth. Markets can be manipulated. Politics can be weaponized, and insiders always move first. This was not just a 19th century problem. It is a permanent feature of finance. Low liquidity markets are fragile. When supply is small, power concentrates quickly. Price does not matter when supply disappears. Need always defeats logic. Political signals can move markets faster than fundamentals ever will, and insiders never panic. They sell before the public even understands what is happening. The greatest lesson of Black Friday is simple. Markets do not collapse by magic. They collapse when someone finds a weakness and pushes. If you want to survive financial markets, do not study charts alone. Study history, because the same games are played again and again. Only the names change. This is Money Through Time.